Good morning, guys. Happy Tuesday to you. Welcome into the stream. And for the next hour, we're going to be really focusing a lot on main markets for this upcoming weekend's slate of football games. We're going to be looking at, we have 6 NBA games on tap for today. So we're going to be looking at some mainline markets, money lines, point spreads, total points. And then we have 8 NHL games as well with college basketball. So we're going to be taking a look at all main market plays. We're going to be focusing on player props later in this evening stream at 6 o'clock Eastern. So the one time, though, at the very beginning where we will take a look at player props is just for DFS. We're going to look at some PrizePicks, underdog, better slips, see if we can cook something up. So we're going to take a peek right now at DFS, but normally this early in the morning, I don't play too many DFS slips. I like to wait for some injury news to come out for the NHL and the NBA. But let's just jump into it right now because we can find some pretty solid value. So let's see what I got going on right now. And I don't know what's going on with my internet right now in terms of I haven't been able to get on Twitter on my phone or on, I was just checking here on my computer, and I couldn't get on. So for those of you that are able to watch this on YouTube, what's going on? But pop in the chat, say hello if you can hear me all right in the YouTube chat. I don't know what's going on with Twitter. I don't know if it's just my internet or my computer or in general, but it was just acting a little weird. We're taking a look over here at the Sharp Money tool first and foremost. What's going on, MP? I appreciate that, man. So let's take a look and see what we have. So kind of a various assortment. I have all the DFS books, at least where I'm at in Arizona, teed up. Pick 6, better, underdog, PrizePicks. We can see that for Michael Porter Jr., under 34.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Somebody already has $1,400 teed up at minus 122. And this is a pretty similar price at FanDuel and DraftKings. No doubt about that. Wilbo. Yeah, Wilbo, no doubt about that, man. No doubt about that. Good morning, or I should say good afternoon to you. What's going on, Rick? Appreciate that, man. Darius, good to know. Good to know. Yeah, good to know it's not just me. Appreciate that, Maddie. Thanks, guys. Always appreciate the OGs, D-Gens, and the regulars that are in here. So this Michael Porter Jr. play, we could play this on underdog. You could play this on PrizePicks or better. Really a lot of different options here. If we look at De'Aaron Fox under on his threes, someone has almost $1,000. It's a little low, but again, the fact that bookmakers at minus 145 on the under 2.5 made threes. FanDuel's here. I like this. I can get down with De'Aaron Fox. So I could rock this either at better or on underdog. Is there anything else that I could see? Ooh, okay, we got a Barbashev play under 1.5 shots on goal. All right, so we're going to rock this on better. I also have an MPJ and Jaylen Brown discount on better. So I'm just going to go over to better here next and play this with Porter Jr. and De'Aaron Fox. Those are going to be kind of my top 2 plays that I'm the most excited about. Under 2.5 threes. And then Porter, I can take his over there, but we're just going to go with his under PRA, 34.5. All right, there we go. And again, I'm taking no insurance on this play, guys. This is a $10 max entry for me. I'm taking the Jaylen Brown discount here. And shout out to Better. They've been running discounts every day, which is really, really nice. Cloudflare, there we go, Eric. Yeah, I'm not like an IT guy. I didn't know if like Cloudflare was just for like, my internet or if it was everywhere in general, but good to hear that. Hold up. We get that in there? There we go. All right, so there's the 3-pick slip on better with Jaylen Brown as the discount. You could take Michael Porter Jr.'s discount, guys, but I'm taking this under PRA, which is, it's a little different. I don't know if it's the same guys that are selected for you, since I'm out here in Arizona, but there we go. All right, so let's see what else we got cooking. Let's go over and let me open up the optimizer. Because let's see if anything else new popped up. Luke Cornett under on assists. 2 people want this basically for $1,000. One at minus 126, minus 127. FanDuel's at minus 136 on underdog. I like that with Cornette. I could grab Michael Porter Jr. again if I wanted to. Normally, 2 times, one player on 2 different slips is normally my max that I go for. I don't like to have any more exposure other than that. Derek White, yeah, we're getting a little on the low side here, just what's happening. It's just too low at the moment. So if we come over to Underdog, look at 3-pick entries, see what we have. Cornell. Yeah, this isn't bad on his over points, rebounds, and assists, but I just took his under on his assists. Laurie. I do like Laurie under 3.5 threes. It's very good to FanDuel right now. And then Dyson Daniels, Zach Edey, pretty similar. Franz under 4.5 assists is a little bit bigger of a gap between FanDuel and what we're getting this at. Let me share this one with you guys. This is a 3-pick, no insurance play. Fading dudes, all unders. Chi-Town, good morning to you, man. If my unit size on straights is normally $20 to $25, what should be my unit on parlays for like the 5 or 6 mans? I would say $5. If you're playing 5 and 6 mans, I'd say $5. Or maybe $10 if you're playing like 3 mans. $10 to $15 for 3 mans. But yeah, I'd go $5. Good question, but that's really the ideal, because we want to make sure that we have more emphasis on straights, and you don't want to have nearly as much exposure if we're running 5 and 6 man, just because there's a lot of variance that can be had when you're running those slips. Let's take a look at PrizePicks. It's a good question. 3 mans, no insurance. Okay, I like the Jeremy Grant. We don't have any Pinnacle really odds right now, guys. If I scroll through this entire board, I just don't see anything on Pinnacle yet. So I'm really leaning on FanDuel as the sharp here. These combos, not going to lie, they're not my favorite. But, I'll give them the old college. I do mix them in from time to time. All right, so we're taking Butler and Suggs on their under combo. I like this Jeremy Grant, Mark Williams play on their points. Weather out here in Arizona is going to get really chilly, and it's going to be really poor coming up, especially for today. Then Moses Moody, De Silva, or Demon. I like this Demon play a lot more. 16.5 PRA? I'll share this one with you guys. Oh, no. It said failed to fetch. I'm wondering if my PrizePicks right now on my Google Chrome is Cloudflare. Okay. We're going to do this the old school way then. I'm going to try to put this in on my phone, on this phone, and then share the link with you guys this way. All right, so taking Demon under on his PRA. And then we're taking Mark Williams under, and then it's Jalen Suggs, Jimmy Butler unders. Under 34.5, under 32.5. All right, let's try this. And it worked on the phone. What do you know? And then let me share this link with you guys. And let me text this to, let's do it that way. All right, so it takes a little extra step because of the internet issues, at least maybe with Cloudflare, at least for me. So let me throw this up over here off to the side. And let me see if I can throw this in the chat for you guys. All right, try that one out. That's PrizePicks 3-pick there. For my Fliff users, let's take a look at Fliff. And let's get this down to like, minus 200. Plus minus 200 range. Kent State and Central Michigan. Early on, even though there isn't anything, this is for Wednesday. Pinnacle doesn't have a line for this game yet, which is interesting. This is way off to FanDuel at the over 45.5. It's 13 cents off the DraftKings. This looks like a very good play here, guys, on Fliff. Normally you won't hear me say this too often about DraftKings, but still, this is just well off. I don't think that FanDuel has the inside scoop. Let me take a peek over here on OddsJam to see if there's got to be some other sharp books. Central Michigan, Kent State, Maction. As it's breaking my heart to know that we are closing into the end of the college football regular season. So Bookmaker has this over-under at 49. Circa's at 49. BetOnline's at 48.5. Yeah, this is even though this is minus 135, so you're paying a little bit of juice, this is quite good. Quite good. So I would definitely bet the Central Michigan Kent State play. All right, let's look at pick 6. And then we'll look at Dabble. 3-mans. What do I got? DeAndre Ayton under on his points and rebounds. I like that. Is there anything else for the NBA? Because I'm seeing a lot of college hoops. Vassell, yes. Franz. I normally hate betting the unders on Franz. But I can get behind all those. So let me log into DraftKings here. Let's take a look at this. Flip line Chi-Town. Sorry. All right. Oh, then it was a good. That's just so crazy. Even this early in the morning, but yeah, it was a good line. Even though it was a little juicy. Forgot to mention it is Tuesday, Hawaiian Tuesdays. One of my favorite times of the year. Every favorite day of the week, Tuesday, no doubt, because I get to rock some Hawaiian shirts. All right, let's take a look at this. See if we can grab this really quick. I can share it. We do have a stat slice. Curry over on points. Jaylen Brown, De'Aaron Fox, Michael Porter Jr. We got a bevy of options here. They're all really good. I guess grab your favorite. I would rather grab Franz's over on his points and just disregard his under PRA. That would be my stat slice choice. Again, though, guys, feel free to pick whoever you want when it comes to the stat slice. And we're looking at Ayton. I like that. And then we're looking for Vassell. Points and assists. All right, so we're going to rock this one. I think I can only play this for $10. Yeah. I can only play this for $10. All right. Pick one of your stat slices, guys. I went with Wagner. Aloha, 49ers faithful. What's going on, brother? I took Wagner over 22.5 points, but obviously there's like 6 or 7 different cats that you could go with. But we're going with the Ayton under. We're going with Vassell under. And normally this early in the morning, guys, lines won't bump as quick over there, so you can grab that. This Wagner play, at least compared to FanDuel, looks really good. But I really hate taking guys like Wagner because they have a wider variance because they're kind of the best player on their team. And so they can really fill it up. Like Wagner can go for 36 points alone. Forget his rebounds and assists. But I definitely can get down with the Ayton play and also Vassell for sure. 2 solid plays. Okay. On the sharp money tool. Oh, totally forgot. For my Dabble people. Don't want to forget Dabble because it is definitely a book that you guys want to attack. Very easy book to make some money. And when I say easy, guys, it's still not easy to hit 3-pick parlays like at will. But you should have a little bit of an easier time on Dabble. Okay, so I can get down with Luka. Let me see if there's any play on this. Normally, it's when I look at this page. Is there anything I don't like? And the answer is Isaiah Collier. This play here would be like it's eh. Every other play here before Isaiah Collier is awesome. I would play all these. I'd create multiple slips. I go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then mix these up maybe again. So I love all these plays other than Collier. Collier's just kind of because it's only 7 cents off. And I like the Anthony Black over on points. Obviously, we saw him over here on his rebounds. His rebounds plays better, but his points plays pretty good. Rashar, however you say my man's name, Zach. Yeah, this is okay. It's not bad. Yeah, Nita, appreciate you mentioning that. Yeah, that's what who the hell was saying it earlier? Yeah, Eric mentioned that before, but appreciate you letting me know. So yeah, it's kind of affecting some of the big ones. ChatGPT X couldn't go over to a couple of websites, but yeah, and this is on 5-mans, guys. But even on 3-mans, I'm still good with all these plays. With Dabble, I like all these. The Collier play would be the only one I'd say I'd skip and just go after some others. So good value over here on Dabble. All right, so for the sharp money tool, let's reset everything here and let's select all the books. I want to look for date range for the next 7 days, and I just want to look at main markets right now. It's really all I want to look at. So we're looking to see where there's some good money, and we're looking at the Browns at plus 3.5. Someone's put up $4,100. Pinnacle's taking $10,000. So normally on plays like this, I typically disregard because they're taking less than what Pinnacle's taking. Pinnacle, though, I mean, this person wants this at minus 105, which is, and it looks to be an EV play because Bookmaker and Pinnacle are sitting around minus 121, minus 128. Two teams that really stink, Cleveland versus the Raiders, and Cleveland has a very, very good defense. Honestly, has my attention over at maybe Bet Online to bet this. I know Circa has this at minus 110. Let me look at this line history here. If we're looking to bet and make money on the NFL, guys, it's always going to be early in the week. A great example was early last week. I bet the under on the Cowboys and the Raiders game yesterday, under 50.5. And thank goodness they took a couple knees at the end of the game because it landed on 49. The main line right at kickoff yesterday was 48.5. So always looking to place bets early in the week when it comes to college football and the NFL. And so if we're looking here, yeah, there's been some movement here, guys, within the last 20 minutes or so. Now, again, I'm assuming that Shedeur is going to be the starting quarterback for Cleveland. It's hard to say. Getting this at plus 3.5 is very good. If they're playing in Vegas, we know that there's not going to be any weather issues or concerns. So I don't mind going after this on Bet Online. To see this movement from Bookmaker and Pinnacle, it's not so much the sharp money tool that's giving me the confidence to bet this. It's really the fact that we've seen Bookmaker and Pinnacle move within the last 30 minutes on an NFL money line or NFL main line total point spread. So I'm just going to come over here to Bet Online, and I'm just going to go ahead and grab the Browns, Cleveland minus 3.5. I'm going to go in for I'm going to go for a little bit more money on this one, which I might be kicking myself. But I'm going to go in for a 250 spot here. And so here we go. I can't get this at minus 105. You could make an account with low vig if you wanted to, guys. I'm going to go with Bet Online, and I'm going to go for 250. And that's the beautiful thing about betting into a sharp book like Bet Online is we can get this action down. I would say every game you could do this at low vig. Really, it's only the sharp books, but I am interested in that play. Northern Illinois. This is Maction. Plus 212 odds. You really can't get plus 212 anywhere else. So, yeah, this is just a plus EV play on its own. Cowboys on the money line. Again, I don't have any minimum, maximum odds set for the sharp money tool at the moment. But But obviously, if you could bet this on Polymarket, this looks very good to Pinnacle, very good to Bookmaker, very good to all the books. I mean, yeah, this plus 186 is just incredible. So there really isn't. Plus 175 isn't bad on a Bally bet Parks. Plus 170 Bet Rivers, not quite as good. But plus 175 is not bad if you guys can get this over at Bally Bet. If we're looking at some NBA games for today, Celtics, Grizzlies. First on the Grizzlies. Again, guys, with this price on Polymarket, when you see Polymarket Kalshi, a lot of times these are odds that are unattainable. You can't receive these odds anywhere else. And the gap between this price and Pinnacle makes this a plus EV play. So this isn't so much of a play that I look at and have confidence because of liquidity. It's just because the pricing is really, really good. And so that's more or less the thing here is Pinnacle's taking $7,500. So the amount of money that's being put up here on the sharp money tool doesn't give me confidence in like, yo, this is a sharp money strategy play. This is just the price over at Bally Bet is very good to Bookmaker and Pinnacle. This is just a plus EV play. We'd find this on the plus EV tool if we pulled it up. So getting this at minus 105, I've been doing this a lot, guys, this season on a limited Bally Bet account is betting mainline plays for the NBA. Now, I'm pretty sure Bally Bet's kind of catching on to what I'm doing. You can get a slightly better price at Bally Bet compared to Bet Rivers or any Canby sportsbook. Celtics minus 10.5. I'm going to try to bet the max over here on Bally Bet. I don't know what they're going to take from me. They might have limited me maybe to like $20, but we'll see. But it is the main line play. Normally you can wager more on the main line. Yeah. So they're now letting me bet $12. If you would have watched the live stream from last week, they were letting me bet like $80 to $120 per play. Now they've limited me to $12. So I've gotten the full squeeze over here on Bally Bet. Now I'm not really limited yet on Bet Rivers or on Desert Diamond. So I probably won't put this bet in yet over there, but it's something that I definitely want to start considering doing on Bet Rivers. They've started to limit me a little bit on, definitely on NBA player props they've limited me. And so I might start going that route. There's a decision, guys, when it comes to your account that you want to make, which is if you start to notice on the Canby Sportsbooks, at least one of them, if you start to get limited on player props, that would be my point in time where I would make a choice on a play like this early in the morning. Are you going to go after? You can see it just moved 2 cents. It just moved to minus 108. So, very easy book that you can make money on. Obviously, even though I got limited for $12, you can, it's a book that when you see this on the sharp money tool, it's just a positive EV play. And if you want to have an easier time beating the NBA for mainline spreads and totals, definitely start betting them early in the morning. No doubt about that. Yeah, I agree with that, Wilbo. You can definitely spread that if you want to. You want the minus 9.5. You want the minus 10.5. If the Canby books are off at minus 10.5 and all the sharps are at minus 9.5, you can bet that as well. Damn, Sharktown. Yeah. Cloudflare has a further reach than I knew. That's for sure. Everything else here, I would say, not as interested in based off the sharp money tool. Can't really say anything there. Okay, so at the moment, let's look first. Let's kind of stay the course with NBA, and let's look at the main lines. We're looking at Pinnacle, worst case. Again, guys, early in the morning, I like to go after this. I love to attack mainline markets. So Celtics Nets. If we see a bunch of overs telling us to bet the overs here, naturally the easiest one to beat is DraftKings at over 222.5 at minus 112. You can see there's maybe some value on Caesars, but this is the easiest one to hit out of them all. It's the lowest leg. If we get 223 points, if you want to bet this over on DraftKings and the over on Caesars, I'm fine with that because if you win, obviously this is a push. This could be a push. This could be a win. But be careful, right? Because if they score 219 points, then these are both losses, right? This is going to be based on your account health. If you see, wow, look at Onyx getting back together with the squad. Onyx, you can grab a couple different plays here. Suns at +4.5. Pinnacle's taking $7,500. This is DraftKings. Looks like Onyx is maybe back together with then. I'm going to go hit this up on Onyx. And guys, even though this is about a 1.5% EV edge play, this is well worth your time to go bet this maybe a little bit above the recommendation, because these are main markets for the NBA. So I'm going to come over here to Onyx to see if I can even grab this play. Suns +4.5 at -138. That's what it says. No, it moved to -150. It's kind of going back and forth. And so that's the problem with Onyx, is that this is not a real play over at Onyx, but it is on DraftKings. I'm not limited on my DraftKings just quite yet. But this looks very good to Bookmaker, very good to Pinnacle. And when we're talking about, I mean, they moved about 5 hours ago, but you could see recently Bookmakers moved and Pinnacles moved. So this would be a play, guys, with this type of edge for the NBA. I know that like player injury news has to be reported later on. This is where you can really secure a lot of value when it comes to betting into this. This is a great play on DraftKings, and I would definitely maybe put like 3 units on this, no doubt about it. Let's refresh this page really quickly. Let's see what else we have. Again, if you're not limited on these books like DraftKings, there's kind of there's the pro and the con. The pro is this is the easiest way to beat the big sports is early in the morning or early in the week when we're looking at football. The con is that it's kind of a way that you can definitely get limited on the sports books because they're seeing that you're getting a really good price on them. And no casual sports bettor really bets this early in the morning on an event that's not taking place until later tonight. So that's the drawback to betting main market plays. But if you are limited on your accounts, and I would imagine that a lot of people in this chat and on the stream right now are limited, then please just go bet as much as you can responsibly on these main market plays. You're going to have a really good time. Same thing here if we're looking for the NFL. Let's look for the NFL and college football. I don't mind having Pinnacle as my sharp this early in the week for college football. We're looking for the next 7 days. What do we have? I love betting into sharp books sometimes when it comes to this. New Mexico and Air Force. Okay, so this is where, again, having bookmaker's account. If you guys are able to create a bookmaker account in your state, if it's still allowed, do that. Another tip that I would give you guys is if you can't create a bookmaker account in your state because maybe they don't let you do it based on location. If you are traveling and you go to another state, try to set up your bookmaker account there, and you should be able to access the website once you come back to your home state. So if I'm looking over here, New Mexico and Air Force, this game isn't until Saturday. So normally, guys, I am always looking to bet into FanDuel when I'm betting mainline markets this early in the morning, because even though I'm limited on FanDuel, I can still wager a decent amount of money over there. And so that's why I don't mind taking a look at this over on Bookmaker to see. I'm wondering what they're taking. So the over 55.5, they're taking $2,000. And so Pinnacle's only taking $1,300. So that's not something that I like to see from Bookmaker. They have moved. So might be a case where I stay away from maybe college football plays when it comes to Bookmaker at the moment because they're taking a little bit more money. Army -9.5. Okay. ESPN bet. Trust me, ESPN bet, not all that sharp. Now, again, we can take a look at Bookmaker and see what's going on there. Maybe I'll just go back to my old ways because I'm a little sketched out right now. I'm not going to lie. A little sketched out about how much money they're still taking this early in the week. I thought it wouldn't be as crazy. So we'll come back to the NFL. My Steelers and the Bears. I don't know if it's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer playing quarterback this weekend or if it's going to be A-Rod. But Pinnacle's taking $3,000. If I come over here to the NFL to see what Bookmaker's taking, on this game. We're looking at the over 44.5. They are taking 3,500 because they have this juiced a little bit more. But still, this is 9 cents off. This is 16 cents off. We're looking at mainline markets, guys. They have roughly the same amount of money. And you can see that Pinnacle dropped off a cliff within the last 24 hours. And bookmakers kind of doing the same thing. So over on FanDuel, guys, I'm going to bet a decent amount of money on the over on the Steelers and the Bears. This could be a terrible bet. But again, early in the week, I'm limited on FanDuel already. I don't really care because they'll still let me bet a decent amount of money now. Chi-Town, make sure in your profile excluded book settings that, when you come over here, the first thing I would say is come up here to the top right, which let me see if my head's in the way. Yeah, it is. Okay. So you come up to the top right, go to your profile. I'll open this in a new tab. And then when you go to your profile, make sure you go to excluded books. And if you type in bookmaker, make sure that there is not, I repeat, there is not a check mark next to your book. Make sure that's the case. And as long as there isn't, then you should see it, assuming that obviously you have the platinum plan. So that's what I would do. Make sure that there's no check mark there. So this is the main line over here. They're telling me to bet 170. I'm going to bet a little bit more than this, or I'm going to bet whatever FanDuel lets me bet. And they're going to let me bet $2,200, even on a limited FanDuel account. That's awesome. I want to bet $250. Betting the over on the Bears and the Steelers. Maybe I should bet a little bit more money than what I am right now. We'll see. But I definitely like that play. And so I can share this with you guys right now. Yeah, he's got the new stash. He's trying to make everyone forget who he is. Ergo, no doubt about that. Yeah, I hear you, Chi-Town. Just make sure that's the case. As long as that is, then you should be able to obviously see bookmakers' odds. No doubt. What's going on, Ken? Good morning to you. So Steelers, let me throw this in here again. I don't know if I did or didn't. I can't remember, but all right. Over 44.5, Steelers and the Bears. Giants, $100 at plus 8.5. Kind of a dead zone number, but still, it's 8 cents off to bookmaker, which is my low threshold. Anything that's 8 cents off or higher for main market plays, grab it. They're taking on Detroit. If it's Jameis, could be interesting. We'll have to see about that. Jaguars, there's only $10 here, so I'm not going to really go into this on ProfitX. But let's see if there's another book that is offering plus 114. Not really. Not really. Okay. Again, we're getting a little bit lower here on the edge plays for the NFL, but these are mainline plays in the NFL, so I'm still very interested. Tampa plus 7.5 against the Rams. Oh, that's going to be a dandy. Bookmaker, again, this is minus 121. Pinnacle's taking $20,000 on this play already, which is insane. I was hoping to see a little bit of movement from Pinnacle, so I don't mind betting this over at Bookmaker. Plus 7.5 is a nice side to be on. I just kind of really want a little bit of this, but just looked at my Bookmaker account. I don't have any money in it, so that's going to be a problem. But all right, I don't mind that plus 7.5. That's a good number to be on. Anything else that's worth it? The unders in the Colts game and the under in the Browns-Raiders game. Both plus odds plays here. Colts Chiefs under 49.5. Man, if the Chiefs lose this game, they would go to 5-6. Just not something you're used to hearing, that they'd have a losing record if the Colts beat them. I would expect that the Chiefs get on the right side of things and take down the Colts, but have to see. Yeah, I don't mind. This is not very good to Bookmaker, but it's okay to Pinnacle. Obviously, as we get lower and lower on these edges, guys, they're not, as the plays that are up above, it's good to Bookmaker, it's good to Pinnacle. As we start to get a little bit lower, it's only good to Pinnacle. It's not good to Bookmaker. So obviously, as we get a little bit lower on these plays, my confidence goes down a bit. But this is definitely two plays. We grabbed the Browns at plus 3.5 earlier. We grabbed the over 44.5. Again, even though I am in love with the Browns at plus 3.5 because I like that number, they could lose by 7. They could lose by 10. This plus 3.5 could be obsolete. If you had the Raiders plus 3.5 last night. Didn't really matter. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with this game. But I do like this. And low vig is a sharp book, but I don't mind going after that number. Let's look at some hockey plays, too, for tonight, just main market plays. This is probably the one sport that I'm not able to find a lot of main line value when it comes to it with hockey. Blues on the money line. This is particularly for me or any Arizona resident, 4CX. Obviously, if we like this at 4CX, you could bet this on BetOnline. Let's see, though. Has Pinnacle moved at all? They've moved a bit. To be fair, though, Bookmaker just moved a little bit, too. Circa hasn't. But this is a decent amount of movement. They were at plus 106. They dropped all the way to plus 100, came back up, back to plus 102. This is 8 cents off to BetOnline. It's slightly better at 4CX. I already have BetOnline teed up, though, so I have no problem betting this over at BetOnline. This is the Blues on the money line. They're taking on Toronto tonight. Plus 110 odds. I'm probably just going to go for a little bit above this. I'm just going to go for 125. There we go. So I took this over at BetOnline, betting into the sharp book. We'll see how that goes. Doesn't happen too often. Over 6 on FanDuel. Blues. Speaking of Blues and the Maple Leafs. You get a little insurance here, guys, when you're able to flat bet this round number, which is nice. Which we're really hoping for is a 3-3 hockey game. But if it's 4-2, 5-1, 6-0, right? You obviously have insurance. This will be a push. Not very good to Bookmaker. Let me see what's going on here. FanDuel moved up a little bit just now. And Pinnacle moved down, which is interesting. And BetOnline moved down. So I'm going to go over and bet this. I like this play for a number of reasons, but we have a little bit of insurance with this play. The main line's 5.5. So if you wanted to get frisky with this, how's the main line look to Pinnacle? Minus 141. Yeah, to minus 132. It's not a good play. I would not bet the main line, but the over 6 is fine. Now, bear with me a minute here, guys. You could use the one-click bet feature. It's over here. I'll find it. I'll keep this pulled up for you guys because I can never remember. There is a certain, I think it might be goals. We'll have to see here. Third goal score, first goal score. No. It's in a different place to find this. I know that. I just basically try finding this without any help. Alternate total goals is always the half ones. There we go. Flat line. So make sure that you guys come over here to the game props. You got to come to game props on FanDuel if you're doing this the old school way. Total goals flat line. That's what you have to do. Here's the over 6. And they're telling me to bet, $100 on this play? Well, let me bet $255, which is nice. I'm going to go a little bit higher, 150 spot. So there we go. I'll share this with you guys with the link. Yeah, no doubt about that, Chi-Town. I do as well. So if you guys are looking to find this the old school way without the one-click bet feature, come over here to game props, scroll all the way to the bottom where it says total goals flat line. That's where this lives. And you can grab this over at FanDuel. So I'm in on this one for $1.50. I just like the insurance that comes with this play. Ooh, Flames just popped up here. Flames on the money line. Minus 107. This looks very good on BetOnline. They're moving a little bit, but that doesn't really scare me too much. Plus 102 odds. Pinnacle, again, we'll just maybe go for a 125 spot. Oh, I only got $55 left. Dang. All right, then I'll go for 55 on the Flames. Taking on the Blackhawks. I'm in at plus 102. Okay. If you see this, guys, you could tell that like LowVig, SportsBetting.ag, BetOnline, they all carry the same odds provider. They're all doing the same odds. So there we go. Blues money line, Flames money line, total goals over. I like that. All right, we got a little hockey action going on. That's what's up. Sticking with the main market theme, guys, we'll look at Bookmaker. We'll look for college hoops right now, and then we'll look for some college football plays. Again, we're looking at all main markets this morning. Look for today, see what we have cooking. If you guys want, obviously tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be going after a lot of player props. So this is where you can really get find some really good value. Minnesota minus 25.5. As much as I'd love to go over to Onyx and bet this, I have to imagine that Onyx is going to move. I'm going to try. This is an ARB to bookmaker, guys. Cross market anytime we see this. This is a great indicator. Chicago State versus Minnesota. This isn't obviously, these are two small schools, but the fact is it's an ARB, and I'm always interested. This is at 6 o'clock my time? Okay. Let's see what we got here. 25.5. Okay. Yeah, they already moved this line to minus 120. So this is just a Bovada only play. But if you guys have Bovada, this is a very, very good bet. I'd rather take this minus 25.5 than minus 26.5. I'll double check some of these Sports Zeno plays. These are probably Sports Zeno only. No other sportsbooks offering odds even close to what Sports Zeno is. This is very typical with Sports Zeno. If you guys are like me right now and you have a healthy Sports Zeno account, I would advise not to place bets on college hoops this early in the day. If you're not limited on Hard Rock or not limited on Fanatics yet, or a Sports Zeno or Bet Rivers, I would highly advise to not bet this early in the morning. These are books that you can have a lot of success with, and you don't need to place bets early in the morning. Nevada minus 11.5. Not quite a low hold to bookmaker. Very good, though. Pinnacle and bookmaker agree on this play, which we like to see that. Yeah, and they just moved within the last hour. This would definitely be a play that would go on my Dub Club card if I wasn't streaming. Seeing this movement from bookmaker and Pinnacle, Nevada minus 11.5 on Caesar specifically. I would say it's okay. It's fine on DraftKings as well if you want to get this on DraftKings. I'm going to try to go over to Bet Now, an offshore book, and see if I can snag this. Yeah, no doubt about that, Chi-Town. Rick, if I keep losing into a book, do I keep betting it? Do I give up? No, I don't really give up on that book. I would say the only time I would consider that is the exchanges like Novig and ProfitX, because those exchanges don't operate like normal sports books. But let's say you're getting your ass kicked at like DraftKings or Bet Rivers. Like, I'm not going to stop betting over there because I do know that they're just recreational books that are stale, right? If you're losing at an exchange, that's a different story. But if it's a recreational book, I'm totally fine with betting into it. Now if it's a sharp book like a Bet Online or a bookmaker or a Circa, I would maybe consider changing my approach. But if it's a true rec book, anywhere between a FanDuel, DraftKings, Onyx, Bet Rivers, MGM, Caesars, any of those, I would definitely still bet into them. Even if it's going bad. Or what I would do, Rick, is I'd pay attention to, are you just losing at that book at one specific sport or one specific market, right? But if you're placing hockey bets, NHL, or if you're placing NBA, NFL, NHL, college football bets over there, and you're losing across the board, I would say I'm not too nervous about that. Looks like, yeah, here we go, Nevada. We'll come up here to the top. I'm going to take a little bit less here, guys, because I'm not getting this at minus 110 and minus 115. I can still bet, though. They tell me to bet 150, which I'm fine with that. All right, great. We got this on Bet Now, which is cool. The only reason, guys, I'm not limited yet on my Caesars account, the one that I'm using, so I'm all right with getting this at Bet Now. It's a slightly worse price, but it's still over 2% EV edge. Yeah, Rick, Bookmaker is a very sharp sports book. Very, very sharp. I place bets in the Bookmaker every now and then, but not consistently. So I would definitely consider using them more as a guide than betting into them. There are times where I like to bet into Bookmaker. I would say more player props, but I don't bet too many player props. I would say if I looked at my monthly activity, I probably place 5 to 8 bets a month on Bookmaker. Doesn't happen very often. So, yeah, that's a book that is one of, I would put them, if not as sharp, if as sharp as Pinnacle or sharper than Pinnacle. So yeah, that's definitely one that I can understand that. If you're looking at this Radford play, guys, take the +10 instead of the +9.5. You get a little insurance on this play, but that's Bovada. We talked about Onyx. I basically don't believe anything. If Onyx pops up at all on the screen, I just don't believe it. Montana +18.5. Is this out there? I'm already on Bet Now right now. Is this out there? Pinnacle, bookmakers, same odds here, guys. I love seeing that. What do we got here? DraftKings, Golden Nugget. Yeah, I'm in on this. Montana +18.5. At -110 odds, they're telling me to wager quite a bit of money. I don't know if I'll go that high. I will go $200 though. Game has changed, it says on Bet Now. That means you changed your odds or you changed your spread. What a surprise. Yeah, this is a very good play. I like this one on Montana, especially when you can see guys too sharp. Like, I don't need the plus EV formula to tell me like these two books agree on this play. Like, it's pretty simple. Louisiana +21. I think going after Caesars, guys, you'll have a great time this fall, winter, going after them for college basketball. The spreads, totals. I normally like to place a lot of bets on Caesars. For those of you that have access to Caesars and maybe haven't been using it much for football, you'll use it for college basketball. Louisiana +21. Bookmaker, okay. They haven't really done a lot of movement. If we open up this event page, I'm interested to see where Pinnacle has this line at. Yeah, Pinnacle's at 20.5. Everyone's at 20.5. No one's at 21, right? So why bet this at FanDuel at +20.5 when you can get an extra half point? Because if Louisiana loses by 21, then it's a push where it'd be a loss on FanDuel. Little things like that, guys, that makes a really big difference sometimes in your bottom line, getting this if it pushes or if it's a win. So Detroit +1. This is, they disagree. A lot of times bookmaker will disagree with Pinnacle. Interesting to see that Pinnacle's kind of, did they move? No, it's just bookmaker, Circa, and Bet Online are all in agreement, and Pinnacle's not. So whenever I see a play like this, right, for those of you that are looking to bet into Pinnacle or Bet 105, which unfortunately Bet 105 is not out here, but I do have Bracco. Yeah, they are. They're at -105. I can get this at Bracco. Okay, so I'm like, all right. So Pinnacle has $2,000. This is where having that bookmaker account really helps, because if I see that bookmaker has the same limits as Pinnacle, then I'm a little like, I'll kind of pull back a little bit. So this is Eastern Michigan versus Detroit Mercy, college hoops, and Detroit Mercy +1. So there's $2,240 over here on bookmaker. That's only $240 more than what Pinnacle's taking. Now, I do like the fact that I see the other sharp books like Circa and Bet Online. They are in agreement with bookmaker. And this would be one where maybe I'd be willing to go on a limb and bet this over at Bracco. But if I'm not crazy about this play, I would stay away. But I'll try this out on Bracco. Because even though I've only placed one bet on Bracco before, I'm going to get limited over there at some point. So I'm okay with that. This is like a sweepstakes sports book, guys, that it's viable right now in Arizona. Arizona's outlawed a lot of them. But let's go to some college hoops. And looks like we got Detroit. I can get Detroit at +1. There we go. The max is $500, which is really nice to see. I'm just going to go in for a lower of 125 right now because I don't know how I feel about it. Shout out to Bracco. I don't have a code, guys, to share because I can't find where the code is to share it. So just sign up with them if you haven't already. It's the big orange B. I'm in on that. All right. Any rec books here? These Profit X plays, guys, we're looking at $94, $31, $28. Just go ahead and bet them. You'll have a good time. Speaking of Bet 105, they're a little off here. Pinnacle, same game. Looking at the under. And I'm already on this, so I can take a look at it. The under 153, $780 is what bookmaker's taking. So that doesn't give me a lot of confidence This is low amounts. And seeing Pinnacle just moved, this is a play that I'm not going to touch. Pinnacle moved, so I don't like that. And bookmakers limit is slightly below Pinnacle. We're talking about $1,000 here. Like, I'm just going to stay away from that. Michigan State, Kentucky, Bally Bet, or any NCAAB sports book. Yeah, minus 103. I can get this at minus 105, which is not great. Let's take a look at this. This is two heavier weight schools. A little bit of movement here from Bookmaker. They moved 3 cents from minus 114 to minus 117. I like that. So any NCAAB sportsbook guys getting this over 153.5, Michigan State, Kentucky, I can get down with this. It's the best over at Bally Bet. It's okay at Bet Rivers, but I grab that for sure. Appreciate that, Chi-Town. Yeah, definitely something I can put into the queue to work on. As for any of you guys that are listening or driving anywhere, Chi-Town said, I think you need to come out with a video with your thoughts on sharp versus rec books, which books to bet when, etc., or throw out on Excel spreadsheet. And no doubt, Chi-Town, that can be helpful. That's something, Chi-Town, that I appreciate that input, because that's something I definitely talk about a lot in my coaching sessions. That's really what a lot of people get when they've signed up for coaching. So Steve and others that have paid for the one-on-one coaching sessions, that's exactly what you get with me, is that we go through what books you want to attack for what sports, and everything like that. That's the step-by-step guide into what season's going on and what sports and what markets, what books are best for what. And we kind of provide a roadmap, and that's what you get with coaching with me. That's one of the features that you get. So, but I appreciate you, saying, hey, I should give that out for free, because it's definitely something that could be a lot of value to a lot of people, no doubt about that. So I appreciate the input, man. Montana and Texas A&M over 165.5. If I start to see here's the thing: if Bracco's kind of listening more to Pinnacle, this could be like I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah. See, when the movements happen when you see movement like this, guys, within the last 30 minutes, this is something that I just don't want to really mess around with, right? Not saying that to go bet this maybe on Bet Online or Bookmaker, but it's definitely out there. Luis, no, not really, man. It's this sports betting. I mean, if we're talking about account health, Luis, I would say that you want to wait. You want to wait right before the game starts, an hour before a game starts, whether you're betting main lines or player props. The problem is when you wait before the game starts, I don't like to bet mainline markets. You want to beat mainline markets, you beat them early in the morning. If for player props, though, I'm always okay with waiting an hour before tip, because that can be very helpful for your account health. But there isn't really just a great time. I think the other best time would be injury news. When the NHL and NBA is dropping their injury news, I think you can find, if you can be a little bit quicker to react. But again, not more times than not, injury news happens in the middle of the day. And most of you guys, I would imagine, have normal working 9-to-5 jobs that, you can't be glued to your phone or your laptop when you're betting throughout the course of the day. If you do work from home, that could be an advantage for you. But injury news is another good time. No doubt about that. Cloudflare's back. Cloudflare. I can't say that word. Cloudflare's back up. Wade, yeah. Wade, I really don't have any. I don't really know why books are removed or they come on. That's more of an IT data scraping type of thing. I appreciate you asking the question, man, but I would ask OddsJam's maybe IT team, though I'd say if you ask their customer service team, you're probably going to get a run-of-the-mill answer, just a regular kind of corporate statement. I don't really know why books come and go, and I don't really have much. I don't have any IT experience or background, so unfortunately, my friend, I really don't have an answer for you there. I know it's frustrating when books like MGM or MyBookie or Bet365 are removed. I'm not really sure the reasons or the decisions. I would say the one thing I can tell you is if I was OddsJam, OddsJam's, I don't think, trying to remove those books. but I don't know why they disappear. Luis, not really, man. Not really. I mean, I understand. I understand if you're trying to figure out an optimal strategy behind it. But I would say if you make money on these sports books, you're going to get limited. Period. Using this software and this specific strategy, this is top-down sports betting. Top-down sports betting preys on picking off stale books and picking off stale prices. So when you show the sports books, and this is a way to be profitable as a sports bettor, okay? So if you want to make money sports betting, Luis, you're going to get limited. If you don't want to get limited, then don't bet or lose. There is not a way for you to really not get limited. There's the best way for you to prolong your account health is to play same game parlays. And same game parlays is what the sports books want you to play. But same game parlays is by far one of, if not the worst bets that you can make on a sports book. Looks like if you can hop on this Onyx value right now, guys, there's a ton of Onyx value, though I don't believe that these plays are true. North Carolina AT&T. Looks like the Hampton play just locked. Yeah, this Hampton play just locked with Boston College. Everything locked. Guys are asking great questions, but yeah, and some questions, guys, that you're asking are great. I don't always answer. I might not always give you the full answer because obviously with my coaching program, that's kind of what you get with some of these questions. So Chi-Town, great question or great comment, but it's what you get with coaching. Yeah, no doubt about that with Onyx. Aceway, yeah, it's how it's available in. I know that it's not available in Georgia. I know that for sure. Just because Georgia doesn't really have legalized sports betting, that's for sure. But Edge Boost, Tommy, yeah, Edge Boost, I've used. I still, I mean, I haven't. The thing here, Tommy, is that I really don't. Nowadays, other than the offshore sports books, I don't use Edge Boost because I don't really use any of my personal accounts anymore that are rec books because they were all cooked a long time ago. So not for myself personally, not anymore. But yeah, if you know, if that's the best way to prolong your account health, to kind of wrap up my point there, is playing SGPs. Looks like these are. I'm just going to remove Onyx because it's not really out there. I don't. Hopefully you guys, when you see these Onyx plays, hopefully you don't like blow a gasket and like blow a couple blood vessels in your brain because you know that these aren't real. It's just, you know, Onyx is a very small sports book. It's a small operation. There's not a lot of employees there, so they make a lot of mistakes. They're not a fine-tuned oiled machine. I still am able to find value in plays over there, guys. The plays that I bet over there are not phantom plays every day. I do find them, but trust me, it takes me a while sometimes to cook up a slip on Onyx because lines are moving, odds are moving. It's you know, it sucks. And I imagine this California play is kind of gone as well. So, yeah, that's kind of the sad truth when it comes to Onyx. Wichita State, yeah, this looks really good. No doubt about that. Yeah, wait. I mean, you're what you're going to notice here, and this is the last thing, guys. I'll kind of wrap it up, and really good just discussion here, guys, in the chat. So when you sign up for a sports book, and it does not matter what sports book it is, guys. This is kind of for everybody. Some of you probably know this. Some of you may not. When you sign up for a sports book, think of this as like your initiation. Okay, I didn't join a fraternity, but this is probably the best thing that I could think of when it comes to a fraternity. Or it's like, you know, you got the new person that starts at your job at work. And you're like, all right, well, let's see what this person's made of. Like, what do you got here? Like, it's your first day at your new job. It's your first day wanting to join the sorority or fraternity. And you're trying to show these people, like, they want to get a feel for, like, what's this guy made of, right? Like, no different when you watch a movie on football and, like, the first practice, they're like, let's hit the new guy. Let's see what this new guy's made of. Everybody wants to know. So these sports books want to find out when you sign up with them, like, who are you? Like, what kind of bettor are you? What time do you like to bet? What markets do you like to bet on? Did you get a good price? Are you playing parlays? Are you playing SGPs? Are you betting straights? Right? So the fact is that if you just play a straight wager, it already puts you in a different category than like 99% of bettors. Because all of our friends that are just casual bettors, they're all idiots. Because they all want to bet parlays. They all want to bet SGPs. So placing straight wagers already puts you in a different category, a very small class. Then if you're betting on an under, that's an even smaller class because who the hell bets on unders? Nobody does. So these first couple days with the sportsbook, it's a trial. They're testing. They want to see what you're made of. And that's why early on, and I've made videos in the past talking about this, you want to try to kind of showcase almost problem gambler qualities. That's going to help with your account health. Betting on player props, guys, period, is going to get you limited. And if you open up a brand new sportsbook account and you go on to OddsJam and you just start firing off player prop bets, back in 2021, 2022, you could get away with that and get limited. Nowadays, you can't get away with that nearly as long without getting limited a lot quicker. So you are under a microscope from these books as soon as you sign up with them from the first day because they want to know what you're about. They're trying to profile you and put you into a certain bucket of what type of sports bettor that you are. So, but at the end of the day, and Wade, I appreciate you sharing that, even if things work out well for you and you're able to kind of get through that initial test phase, if you just start hammering player props on these books, they don't have a lot of liquidity. That's one way that you'll definitely get limited. So, but again, guys, at the end of the day, it's the one way I know that you're going to be profitable sports betting. So it's at some point, you're going to get limited, and I want to make sure that you at least profit from these sports books. Especially Chi-Town. Any of these guys in here like Chi-Town, I'm fairly confident that you've been a profitable sports bettor, that you've made money. Obviously, we want it to last for as long as we can. But what I don't want you guys to do is to kind of skip out on certain plays because you're afraid of getting limited and then take some lesser quality plays and lose and then ultimately still get limited but don't make money on the book. There's nothing worse that you can do than trying to big brain the sports books and try to play some other plays that aren't as quality and lose and then still get limited. That's the worst case scenario. If you made money on a book but you got limited, you made money. That's the good news. So that's what it's all about. Yeah, Luis, listen, there's going to be certain sports books. Some of you guys know this already. Bet365, Fanatics. Fanatics, guys, is going to limit you no matter what. They're going to limit. If you can get a Fanatics account to work for you for longer than 7 days, you're a god. Honestly, Luis, the one thing that you probably should have did was gave that Fanatics account to your best friend and told him that he could bet on that account for 2 or 3 days and tell him to only play parlays. And tell him that you would have bankrolled him up to like 50 or $100. Because then your friend would have played a bunch of crap parlays that would have really helped you out. But otherwise, everyone on here gets limited on Fanatics in 3 days. And that's well known across the industry. Fanatics knows that they can be beat. And so their model is just to limit sharp bettors. Sorry, guys, if I'm not going over a ton of plays, but the chat here is really, really good. You guys are asking a lot of great questions and really good back and forth. That's where I'm going to end the stream at the moment here, guys. We'll be back on tonight at 6 o'clock Eastern to bet more player props. Questions, though, email me, DM me. As always, ideas like Chi-Town, appreciate that. Send me, don't be afraid to email me or DM me if you want to see certain videos. You guys are the true audience, the true core membership. So I want to make sure that, the content I'm making is something that you're actually going to enjoy and learn from and gain some value from. Nothing else, guys. Have a strong Tuesday, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Take care.